Evidence so compelling it's opened my third eye. I'm gonna share the videos with you, and I trust that you will also now become part of the Flat Earth cult as a result of watching these videos. This shit's powerful. It's been a question on my mind for a long time. I'd always debate who's more reliable, a flat earther who's sniffing their own farts and shitting in their diaper, or science. It's really a toss-up. One day you're a flat earther, next day you're a QAnon cultist who's standing outside of a random road waiting for JFK Jr. to be revived and come through on his limo and announce his presidency. Flat earthers make me so fucking sad. It's... As far as absolute brain-dead conspiracies go, flat earth is the least harmful. They're not hurting anyone by being dumb. Isn't it a gateway to more harmful ideas, though? Yeah, you can make that argument, probably. Because it certainly is. One day you're a flat earther, next day you're a QAnon cultist who's standing outside of a random road waiting for JFK Jr. to be revived and come through on his limo and announce his presidency. So yeah, it could definitely be a slippery slope. Are they still waiting for JFK Jr. to revive himself on that boulevard, by the way? Does anyone keep up? I stopped keeping up 3 months ago and they were still waiting.
Flat Earthers. It's low-hanging fruit. It's by far the easiest group to criticize, insult, poke fun at, etc. There's really nothing to be proud of. You're not a big man for doing it or anything, but I'm still going to do just that because I find the Flat Earthers to be the most fascinating and entertaining group of Cro-Magnon that are currently stumbling through this planet of ours. And today I just so happen to be watching a Buzzfeed video. I know it's almost as bad as believing in Flat Earth itself just by watching Buzzfeed, but this was beautiful because it was a collision of two worlds here. Flat Earth and Buzzfeed, some of the worst shit there is. And it was great because they have a staff member who believes in Flat Earth and went about why he believes in it and such, and talks about the science behind it. I'm putting science in quotes because it's just kind of like I banged two rocks together and I believe it's flat. But anyway, Ned Flanders here from Buzzfeed's gonna take us through the Flat Earth basics. Take it away, diddly doodle. This whole video screams satire, but the problem is they commit way too hard to the role, and it makes it very hard to discern whether or not it should be taken seriously. Based on what I've learned about Buzzfeed Blue, and more in particular the cast here and the purpose, it was meant to just be an over-the-top, entertaining, but still thought-provoking piece that tries to convince you that the Earth is flat. I really am not 100% sure, but A, it's not entertaining. The humor just comes because this guy's wearing a fake mustache and doing exaggerated facial expressions. Wow, that's fucking clever. And B, they focus very hard on what flat earthers actually believe in an attempt to convince you it could be flat, so it's just super fucking hard to know for sure if it's satire or not. I'm gonna treat it as though it's not satire because it's just not even well done if it is. Video I've ever seen, they all use children's toys to show that the Earth is flat and convince you that it's flat. So at least they can understand their audience that it's just a bunch of 6-year-old brains inside the body of greasy men and unattractive women. Little experiment, or at least as far as Buzzfeed was willing to research into it. I like how he drew a little penis there to represent the man looking through the telescope, but it's a shitty experiment that was immediately debunked even during its time. The reason you could see the boat from one end to the other is due to atmospheric refraction. A man named Wallace actually set up discs along the same canal and showed that the middle disc is higher than the other discs because of the curvature. Usually I wouldn't even bother talking about how it was debunked, but because of all these soft micro penis in hand flat earthers using the Bedford Level experiment to become a flat earther, I thought it was at least necessary. And it's fucking laughable because it shows they did no research of their own. And it'd be as if a man turns to Scientology because he watched an episode of Gurren Lagann. It's just fucking dumb.
Possibly Kyrie Irving, Tila Tequila, and B.O.B.
You're not alone. There's almost 5 of us now. Look at these super successful intellectuals that are famous because of how smart and well-versed they are. And they're seeing it made out of Play-Doh here, looking like a fucking 3rd-grade art project. I'm a believer. It's not crazy at all. I feel like I was crazy to ever even believe science and logic. Well, shucks, now I gotta fit in with the flat earthers. I'm gonna have to start denying climate change and having sex yet, asshole. Gravity is a fucking fib. The universe, the sun, everything bends and moves around the earth because the earth is the protagonist of the universe's manga. Open your fucking eyes, you goddamn troglodytes. The sun, it's like a fucking NASCAR race, and we're just the pit crew on board. Yeehaw! Can I get a hoo-wee?
This brings me to photographs.
Just a long section about how photographs are easily faked. Absolute genius.
Listen, global warming is gonna melt away that ice wall.
Global warming? You're not coming into the Flat Earth Society anymore, bud. We're rescinding that invitation. But yeah, thanks Buzzfeed for the eye-opening material, honestly. Really great shit. Earth is flat. Globe Earthers, I can't... You sheep. Stop believing the government's chemtrails. That's it. So yeah.
Flat Earthers versus scientists. Can we trust science? Well, before even watching it, I'm going to go ahead and answer that. Yes. If there's one thing in the world you can trust, it's probably going to be science. The fucking hot dog man or flat earthers probably aren't the most reliable source of shit you can trust, I would say. That's like trusting the guy who sells you laced weed behind the dumpster to trust him with your finances. Alright, now I'm ready for action. Let's see if we can truly trust science. It's been a question on my mind for a long time. I'd always debate who's more reliable, a flat earther who's sniffing their own farts and shitting in their diaper, or science. And it's really a toss-up.
Hey guys. Puzzle piece. And then one of those pieces just wasn't fitting.
I'm always open to...
To who? Who went through their whole life hollow, knowing that they've been lied to, that the world is not a globe and a piece of them has been missing, and that's why they're still a virgin at 40 years old?
I'd like to tear them to pieces.
That looks like a flat earther. Part-time biker, full-time alcoholic abusive father. Definite flat earther.
My name is Dan Glatman. I work as Dan the Waterman in the drinking water filtration.
It was created by a higher power.
Dan the Waterman doesn't believe in God?
Well, I've been...
He must have seen Rick and Morty while cleaning a pool once.
The scriptures in the Bible that point to a flat earth.
I'm all for religion and believing what you want to believe. I think it's very important to find your own answers, but why use books like the Bible as a source of irrefutable evidence?
My name is Wendell. I am a
That's such a sensitive name.
Based,
Wendell.
and scientific flat earth.
Kind of guy that cries when he jerks off because he feels like he's disrespecting the actresses with his
I had a lot
sin.
of questions. An observation at Salton Sea, and things just didn't add up down there. So we've gone back probably a dozen times.
Well, you can't argue with the facts, I guess.
There is no
I looked at the water once, and, well, it wasn't falling off the side of the planet, so there's no way it's curved.
Discussion groups, panels, we've gone against opposition.
I have a sneaking suspicion all three of these are anti-vaxxers as well.
Flat Earth is its own worst enemy.
Well, they say it in 14 of the documents.
You should read what NASA says, and you should listen to what
I
NASA
would
says.
love to see...
I would also love to see that. In fact, I'm sorry, Wendell, to step on your toes over there, because I know you're a cornucopia of great information and calorie crusading, but I have to know. Is there actual documents from NASA saying the Earth is flat?
I'm what you call a globe denier.
So an idiot. A
You couldn't
fucking
even get me
idiot.
into a virtual
A limp-dicked
construct if I
loser.
can't find the
All synonymous
orders
with
myself.
globe denier.
Would find it to be an ice plane where we have a localized sun and our environment thrives there. You know, these
I too like
particular
science
people
fiction.
have misled us on alternative media is just a thing of beauty for me.
When he says alternative media, he's not even talking about alternative media. He watches 4 subscriber YouTubers that are on the run for drug possession charges and child molestation who talk about flat Earth, and then he goes and raves about that video on his anti-vax Facebook groups.
And they're my mind because my mind isn't set. NASA is solely designed to change my mind.
Which it would if you'd read anything from them.
Has been a television program.
Foundation for why I believe the Earth is flat. And
Well, it is, right?
I have evidence that proves it's
Shelby, show us.
What
Curvature,
type
I
of
just-
We're being misled. We're being deliberately misled.
But that's not
by
evidence.
mainstream
Now, what's
media.
your evidence? You're
We see
thinking?
too far. We see too far. We should
That's not
be able to
evidence.
see. I live in Dana Point.
Okay.
I can see San Clemente Island. We're 60 miles away.
I wake up in the morning and I can
I'm on the
see
beach.
the sun.
I'm on the beach.
The evidence, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
By gobs of science.
It's gotta suck being a scientist in 2019. There was like a golden age of science in like a...
What is the question?
I don't understand.
Man, it almost goes far back as like maybe the 70s to 90s.
Possible. Anything is possible.
Scientists were like
I mean,
revered,
anything
but
is
now
possible.
there's like these fucking
I've got a-
limp-dicked
I've got a tremendous
lunatics
issue with
and
consensus
dusty
and theory.
cootered old
I've been
soccer
spending a
moms that
lot
all of a sudden
time
think science is
arguing
evil.
with people that argue the
Just for a second. You're never going to get 100% of anyone. There is scientific
Except when you're talking about
consensus
globe Earth.
on a
That's
globe
100%.
Earth and scientific consensus on evolution.
You'd be hard-pressed to find a
Not big
scientist
deal.
say that's
the word
wrong.
theory.
And if you do, then that's a
know
scientist that
theory
should
in
not be in that
science is
profession.
extreme-
Access to media and limited exposure. Until we're in university curriculums, we will continue to appear uneducated.
Well, that's not
What
true.
are the odds of that, Dan the
history of
Waterman?
science, we
The
had
dude who
many
pisses into the
occasions
filtration
that the
systems of
idea
homeowners' pools
was
and
not
rants
welcomed
about
by the
flat
society.
Earth and
Einstein
sheeps
was
that
one of
believe
them.
it's a globe?
Galileo.
It's
Galileo
weird
was
that
one
you'd
of
seem uneducated
But
in a
if your
university
theory is an
situation.
authentic one, closer and closer to the truth. We never get there. Never.
Well, I
That's-
know that's true for you. And
no, that's a science.
Jesus, Wendell.
You think many billions of people do not believe, including myself.
And many more billions do.
So what?
So who's right?
Of course I can.
So the
When you say that we stole a conclusion
Check,
and we're trying to
checkmate.
match
Wendell
everything
wins
that
again, baby.
That to me
The
is-
40-year-old virgin has come with the gloves off and the condom on today.
No,
right
you're
now.
not. You're making
No, we,
assumptions.
sure,
Okay.
we do make assumptions.
God, it's gotta
Some
suck
things are
arguing with people with the mentality of an
well-supported,
8-year-old.
proven.
If gravity
We
is
don't
an
have to-
assumption, you show
Oh,
me
God.
the scientific method how you isolate gravity.
She doesn't believe in gravity.
It's the same thing. I have never seen one flat earther
I kind
use
of
math
feel
to
like
prove their
I
point.
wanna
You're wrong, actually.
develop
There's
some of this
a,
stuff a little bit
on
more
a
at
serious
the
note,
high
there's a
level,
Flat Earth
but I feel like
documentary
there's
where they
so
did
much
use
that I
math
haven't really
and immediately
actually
proved
seen.
themselves wrong at the end of it, so appreciate it. What the fuck? Didn't the three of you all just use NASA to prove the Earth is flat?
Obviously, any organization.
So you don't even trust your own source? What?
They have individual.
That is
That's
absolutely not true.
Jim. I wouldn't lie to you.
And the other.
NASA's lying to you, my friend.
If there's one person you can trust, it is Dan the Waterman.
Retro.
Perpetuate this massive fraud. Why would they?
Mind control, Spencer.
The benefit of doing
Okay, the benefit of it.
And make our dicks smaller.
$2 a day. Follow the money.
No, the little
Follow
guy.
the
Yep.
money.
The little guy.
That's what then when you
Hear the reasonable voice and say, "Yeah, that makes more sense than having this pizza.
I mean, Spencer, you can argue all day, but Shelby came at you with some concrete shit saying, we see too far. What does science have, huh? How far does science see? You know what I mean, Spencer? Checkmate.
I used to.
Thanks for the
agree
resub,
to.
Ruthless.
So I completely understand where you're coming
Menopause has not been kind to you, has it, Shelby?
Look, anybody who can overturn Einstein or some major theory is going to be eventually written in the halls of
Yeah.
science for the rest of their
And it
lives.
could be
But they
Dan
have
the
to come up
Waterman.
with the goods. They have to show good science-based evidence.
Wait until you see the drawing he did on a
And they
napkin,
have to
Spencer.
withstand
It once and
the
for all
test of
proves
time,
that not only is the
peer
Earth
review,
flat,
and
but men that are above
rigorous
5'6" are
scientific
fake.
method.
All right.
Actors, robots, reptilians. It's all proven. We made soap. It's called Cheeky. Go to usecheeky.com and get some of the soap. Space is fake. That's a really fun one. David Weiss talks about space being fake on The Healthy American. I found the video.
I don't know. Katy Perry went into space today.
The Illuminati symbolism is always the most compelling argument, if you ask me. Like how that looks like Baphomet, if you like squint and don't think too hard about it. That's always my favorite. That's always the big smoking gun.
This was news to me. I did not know about Katy Perry. Tell me more.
Katy Perry went into space today. They shot her off on the Blue
1984
Origin rocket, and Blue
That
Origin
shirt goes
by Jeff
ballistic.
Bezos. And these things, it's so badly done. Like people are like, Dave, you're gonna make a video on this, and I was like, I don't think I can. You just have to watch the actual video. This is a Blue Origin video. I just want to show you. This was from a previous one. This is when they sent from space on another YouTuber's name who went up, and the amount of edits. Now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. The amount of edits are insane. Before it clears the tower, there's like 10. There's 4 edits before that. But watch right here on the nose. Yeah, I just showed it. I'm going to zoom in and show you again. There's a glitch. This isn't a real rocket. Okay, this isn't a real rocket. Let me
AI.
go back and see the glitch. Watch right here on the nose of the rocket.
Oh, yeah, I saw it.
You see it? I'll zoom in, make it a little closer. Oops, where'd I go? We go back. Ready? There it is. So this isn't a real
Fake.
rocket. Right?
Do it.
Now, who's filming this? Right? This thing is shooting up into space.
Yeah.
Right? And it's going, and there's people in here. And it's just got this one little nozzle on there. It's got no fins. It's got no wings. It's got no stabilization. It's crazy. So let's look at Katy Perry's launch. This is her launch today. I think it was today or yesterday. And there was all women on here. Just her whole, I don't even know what her crew is, but there was all these women under Jeff Bezos' wife. Where's the smoke trail? Who's filming this? All right, okay, we'll say a drone is doing a great job here. But this little fire is sending these people up into space. If this was if there was people on here, and some people are like, well, they didn't go to space, they just went up, and came down. There's nobody on here. This little flame is pushing this thing up into space with people on it. Right? This would be the scariest ride ever. You'd hear nothing but screaming and vomiting and other things.
You'd hear it from outside of the
people.
Outside of the rocket?
It would be insane.
I don't like this whole shape that they made either.
Oh, it's worse than that. Like, on half the time, the cameraman has a glitch and he makes the thing go up and down.
So much glitching.
It's very strange, right?
You'd think with the billions of dollars Jeff Bezos has, he'd fix the glitches, but he's making it too obvious that it's fake.
It's crazy, but you know what the zero-G plane is? When people go on a zero-G plane and it makes a parabolic arc and then you can float around, you can spend, I think it's like $5,000 or something, and you get to do this a couple times. So I'm just showing you, this is a zero-G plane and these people are going around. So from the entire trip, we have Katy Perry, we get 30 seconds of her floating around with her friends. And if you watch, there's one edit, 2 edits, 3 edits.
That's supposed to be people in space?
4 edits.
I know, right? That's what I'm saying.
The dialogue is 5 edits, right? The 30-second, 6 edits, right? And so what this is this is a little studio, 7 edits, in a zero-G plane, 8 edits, and they're just clipped it all together, and this is all we get, right?
When does he talk about space
9
being
edits
fake?
in 30 seconds.
I've already seen
And
all
this
of
is
these
what they
arguments. I want the new ones, the space being fake. Well, no doubt,
It gets
yeah.
worse than that. So
Naturally.
So this thing now is going to fall back to Earth. They all have to get into their chairs and get in. So they're allowed to move around and play and push off the walls. This thing, what's stopping it from tumbling? Right? It's actually repeating. It repeated.
It's a great point.
They always have to tell us who their master
Baphomet!
is, right? Here's her.
Baphomet!
I'll zoom in on it.
I told you!
Baphomet.
It's more like... Kind of looks more like Lobo, almost.
Upside down. You flip it over. They do it all the time. Everything they do, they have that all the time. So...
That is so bizarre. I thought, astronauts had to go through like training and zero gravity.
There's not astronauts. It's space tourism.
Going up and coming. Where are they going?
They just went up and they come down and it's crazy. Look at this. So the other guy was, this guy's name. He's some famous YouTuber. He's the last guy that went up. This is what he's wearing to go up to space.
Yeah.
And this is what a jet pilot, a fighter pilot has to wear when he's just going, when he's going up for 1,300 miles per hour, 45,000 feet. They're going up 350,000 feet at 2,200 miles per hour, and they're just wearing jumpsuits, right?
Ridiculous.
Nobody's really thinking these things through.
Nobody.
When they come down. And they're like, yeah, but I saw the curve of the Earth. This is Kobe Cotton is his name. Kobe Cotton, CC, 33.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And so...
Whoa. We can't just gloss over that. He just blew it wide open. 33. The number of the beast. When you walk it through like other things. Holy shit.
Earth, but here's the same camera when he's on the ground. The curve of the ground. It's the same curve. So they're just using a fisheye lens, and people just believe this stuff, right? People are like, you can go see a rocket launch yourself, and yes, sometimes they do launch real rockets, but they're not real rockets. There's never anybody on them ever. This is like called a Tupac rocket. It's a complete and total hologram. The amount of
Wait, Wait, so he just openly acknowledged that you can go watch it, but they're still not real rockets. Does he not trust his own eyes if he was to watch it? That's the beauty of these things. Like when they did the final experiment for Flat Earth, where people could literally see the thing that proves them wrong, and they still won't accept it. That's always the most impressive part to me. There's always going to be something. No, it's not real. Like, yeah, you can invite me out there to watch this rocket launch, but it's clearly a hologram. Like, until he dies from trying to get too close to the rocket, he will not believe it. And even then, he will go to Valhalla thinking that he had got sniped by a COVID-21 sniper or some shit. Or 5G got him.
Obliterate everything here, but this smoke is just kind of lollygagging around. That's lifting up, 30 tons of weight, right? But when it went up, we had a little glitch. Watch right here. Watch the top of the rocket. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and come on.
No!
It disappears. We'll zoom in.
They thought we wouldn't notice. They thought we wouldn't notice.
Okay?
Hello?
This happens all the time with NASA. So, I'm done with space. I mean, the space that we can spend the entire time here for hours going on and on about space, and we really won't get. We won't
But Dave, but let's talk about that, because why is it important that we talk about space? That is
because it's a
one
lie
of their proofs to show this kind of round ball from space. I think that is one of the most important points that we need to settle on. Is there is no image. You've said this before. Most of my audience knows that all of those blue marble images are just that. They're cobbled together. So the fact that no one has ever been there to take a picture immediately, and NASA itself, and I've done several videos where I've got interviewed. I have not interviewed, but I'm playing interviews with the artist, with the graphic artists who say, "Oh yeah, we draw all that."
Yeah, I mean, the 2012, 2013,
we draw it.
Doubled in size. So
surely we can do better than that.
A year later, right? Then we have 9 images. So either 8 of them are fake, or all 9 of them are fake. You can't have it both ways.
Checkmate.
It is. So this is one. I want to show you this one real quick, and then we'll get off the images. So this is the 2012 picture of Earth. And so you got the United
stupidest
States
thing
here,
I've ever
right?
seen.
Florida, you're over here, right? United States got huge. Look how much of it, the Earth. This is supposed to be a photograph from NASA, right? So if we take a map of the world and we put that right here, we line it up with the map of the world, all of this other land, all of it has to be on the other side of that ball. Okay?
That's it. You'd have to be so brainwashed to think that's possible.
Fake.
Hello, everyone.
No! What? Why'd he stop? Wait, he was just about to go into space being fake.
Flying.
That's what I came here for.
Hello, everyone. I got this information from the Flat Out Truth Resurrection channel, and I wanted to share it with anyone who hasn't seen it because I thought it was pretty funny. This is where you can find the original video.
I've already seen all of this. I wanted to hear him tell me how space is fake. What a shame. God damn it. At the link? Well, no, the link is for his Flat Earth evidence. Right? Wasn't it Flat Earth Dave? Oh, wait.
All right, friends. Peggy Hall back with you from thehealthyamerican.org.
I'm not watching an hour. I just want to hear the cliff notes on space being fake. Jesus Christ. That's so hype. I don't even need to hear him speak. I'm just convinced. Where was it? Oh, here it is.
Pour some water in there. The water is contained by the upturned edge, and that's the Earth. The Bible is actually a super scientific book. Now, let me tell you something, but you know this about me, but just so your audience knows, before 10 years ago, 12 years ago, before I was forced to look at Flat Earth, trying to debunk it, I didn't really have a connection to the Creator because I could doubt it. I would like, you know what, I don't know. And this is
a heartwarming tale, David.
Flat Earth. This is why they hide it, because when you see the flat Earth, you can no longer deny creation. It's like walking through the jungle. It's your first day on Earth. You know nothing, and all of a sudden, there's a 100-story skyscraper. Is there a creator? Is there somebody? Is there a builder? You can't deny it. There is a builder. You can try to figure out.
I don't really understand that argument. Let's say the Earth was flat. You could still deny a creator. You could just say, like, well, it's just kind of how the universe is. It's all flat planets. I don't understand that comparison. I want to hear him talk about space being fake.
So I saw this on a video, and I forget the guy's name. I'd like to give him credit, but humans come in these different colors. What else comes in these different colors? Earth. Right? So the Bible was right whenever it was written about what humans come from. And I find that interesting. And then also, you know, to have healthy soil, there's bugs in the soil, good bugs, bad bugs, right? You have to have that healthy terrain. We need to have that healthy terrain with the good bugs, right? It's the similarities are crazy.
She has no fucking clue what he's saying right now.
Man, and then how did he create women? You know, Bible test question.
From the ribs.
Yes, from man.
From man.
Well, what part? What part, Peggy? It's the ribs.
They took
from a dome. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So there's 206.
You didn't even let her try. She had no fucking clue. She is zoning you out so hard, brother. She does not know what you are saying.
Bones in the body, I think, and only one of them is able to regenerate itself. Like if you broke off a half of a rib, it'll grow. The ribble is the only bone that will grow back.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and evolution has no explanation for this. So how did the people, whoever wrote the Bible, people say, whatever, unless it was divine.
What does this have to do with space? Tell me about space.
So are you watching the chat? Is anybody?
I'm watching the chat to give up something that they believed in for so long.
I've heard all this shit before. I want to hear about space being fake.
Take the time. People spent their whole lives being indoctrinated. You were taught that the Earth was a globe before you had
meaning and purpose, and I hope that everyone finds that truth because it is a truth.
Institute of International Affairs and the Trilateral.
Someone just give me a fucking timestamp. Why not watch the full hour? He's opened my eyes. He's so right. I've heard all of these before. I am so deep into this community. I've heard pretty much everything he's saying before, minus the space stuff, and I don't really understand, like, humans come in these colors, and you know what else comes in these colors? Soil. I haven't seen that argument being made yet. That was interesting, for sure. But outside of that, I've already heard this shit a lot. Did this guy go to the final experiment? I don't think so. I don't recognize his name as being part of the final experiment, but I'll double check. No, wait. Oh my god, this guy... Wait, no. He's listed in the manifest as going to the final experiment. No! This guy literally went for the final experiment with like the 100% thing where he was literally going there to be proven wrong, or rather, prove himself right that there's no such thing as this 24-hour sun. Went there, saw the 24-hour sun with his own eyes, and is still refusing. Oh my god. That's huge. Assuming, of course, the manifest is accurate. But from what I'm seeing here, he was one of the people that did do the final experiment. Unless there's multiple David Weisses. That's so big. Yeah, like I said, there's just nothing you can do. It is what it is. He didn't go? Well, he's listed right here in the manifest. Why didn't... Or was he like one of the people they wanted to get to go? Because I see multiple videos talking about him. Like this one says he's playing both sides now after the final experiment. This one has him listed as one of the participants. I don't know, maybe I'll have to check deeper. Maybe he didn't go. But he is listed quite a few times in regards to the final experiment. They wanted him to go, but he backed out? Yeah, the website says he declined to go. Ah, what a shame. Why? Why would he decline to go? It'd be the easiest way to prove himself right. Because Baphomet was going. Oh, true. That's probably what it was. So he can keep... I mean, yeah, he makes a living from it, so of course he's not going to do anything to, like... Well, actually, it's not real, because then he wouldn't be able to pivot or anything. So I get why. I mean, I get it. Will you go to space to prove it's real? Absolutely fucking not, man. There's so many alternative ways of proving space is real without going to it. But I love the idea that it's not real. Like, all the satellites we send up there, they don't actually go to space. They go to, like, Earth inversion zone. Would you ride a hypothetical space elevator to the moon? I'd be more inclined to do a space elevator should that technology ever exist. They can buy fucking telescopes themselves. There's different arguments they make about telescopes in regards to, like, what you see through a telescope. It all depends on who you ask, but they have plenty of cope on, like, how telescopes don't prove that anything's round. But like I said, that's the first time I've heard anyone in the Flat Earth community say space itself isn't real. What's up everybody, it's Critical. Today I saw a video that really salted my rectal flaps. It's from a flat earther as he harasses a NASA employee at a Starbucks, and it's truly just infuriating. I'm not gonna go into depth about how stupid flat earthing is, so I'll just sum it up by saying to anyone who truly believes the earth is flat, you're wrong. It's not an opinion, it's genuinely just you're wrong. Also, I'm sorry in advance that this troglodyte filmed this vertically. I guess flat earthers also don't believe in horizontal videos. Those must just be a scam from government reptilian humanoid officials. But anyway, let's dive in.
Pardon me? Alright guys, I'm here with a real NASA employee. Legit NASA employee.
So here's our protagonist. I didn't mean to pause it during a shaky cam screen, that's my apologies there. I know this looks like one of the fucking photographs from the Ring movies, but for how stupid this man's actions are from this point forward, I think it'd even be better if he had blurred his own face out.
And I asked him, I said, astronauts have almost died in space. They got water in their suit and they almost drowned. And he said it was because of saliva.
I'm gonna get this out of the way. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about here. I don't know about astronauts drowning in space, except maybe drowning in pussy when they get back from space. That makes sense to me. But as far as this man's lunacy is concerned, I don't know what the fuck he's going on about. I also don't see why this topic is the smoking gun for flat earthers. Astronauts have a dangerous job. We knew it. The Earth is flat. Also, this badly bearded biker-looking dude is the founder of an official Flat Earth talk panel and website or something, and they were really excited that he ran into a real NASA employee in the video description.
This guy right here, hold on, I'm gonna wait for him to get at the front of the line. And then I'm gonna ask him some more questions. There's a real NASA employee right here.
Just wanted to point out this badly shaven beard here. This is a weak beard game. It looks like a hairy toilet seat. If you do this with your beard, stop. I know why he's doing this. He wants to make it look like he has a stronger jawline than he has, and it doesn't even look like he has a jawline, judging from this angle. It looks like his neck is trying to eat his cheeks, and with the way his beard is shaven, it looks like armpits. If I didn't see his nose, I would be 100% convinced I'm looking at a close-up of an armpit.
Hey, my man, sir. Just the spacewalk. He won't talk to me, sir.
Now this mongoloid is starting to attract attention to himself. The other customers have now been made aware of his presence, and unfortunately for them, they're in for quite the shit show coming up.
Look, he was all nice. He gave me NASA cartoon freaking emblems.
That is a sticker, you stupid, soggy scrotum of a man. It is a fucking sticker. It's not a cartoon thingy emblem, it is a sticker.
Now he won't talk to me. He won't talk to me at all. Sir, just tell them why they almost drowned in space. Please.
Have a nice day, okay?
Come on, you won't even chat with me?
Nope.
You hate Americans? Is that it?
Excuse me?
Yeah.
How the hell did you get that? Don't ever accuse me of that again.
Well, hey, I'm just curious. If you won't chat with me and answer my question.
Now this fucking degenerate makes his move and starts harassing the NASA employee and then accuses him of hating Americans because by not answering one lunatic's stupid questions, it means you hate all of America. I guess at no point in this man's underdeveloped brain did he happen to think, you know, maybe it's a little uncomfortable for him to answer a question on camera while I'm being a dick to him.
I don't have to chat with you.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Step
true.
over there, okay? I'm done.
You're not the boss of me, bro. I'll leave because you asked me to. It's fine. But this NASA's a fraud, bro. All right. They lie about everything. That's cool. I was just trying to ask questions.
I love that line from the Lord of Greece and Ignorance. You're not the boss of me, bro. It's like a fucking toddler who just got told the Power Rangers aren't a real crime-fighting organization. It's amazing, and he says this right after he was demanding answers from the NASA employee. It's just, holy shit, amazing.
Yeah. Well, I just got kicked out of Starbucks for asking NASA employee questions because he's lying. He's a blatant liar.
You didn't get kicked out because you were asking questions, dipshit. You got kicked out because you were harassing him and being a general fucking inconvenience to everyone around you. When you go into a room, you bring everyone's mood down. You sweat incompetence, and people can smell that and they don't like it. I'm all for letting people believe whatever they want to believe, but when you're gonna be this big of an asshole about it and try to actively go against scientific evidence, then I take an issue with it. Not gonna play any more of the video because it's just him outside saying he got kicked out for trying to uncover the truth, NASA's a fraud, everyone's being lied to. Basically it's just the same shit over and over again. I don't think I'll ever truly understand why all of a sudden people in our society go against science, like the anti-vaccination crowd, or also police agencies who say their drug whisperers are more reliable than proven science. It just doesn't make any sense to me. These people really just aren't smart enough to realize that everything in their lives right now is the product of science. Half of those people probably wouldn't be alive today. If they were born 100 years ago, they would have already been killed off by something like measles or perhaps an infection that they couldn't cure because they didn't have antibiotics. No one can really understand that concept. I just don't get it. I'll never understand it. But yeah, anyway, condoms off for that NASA employee for putting up with this bullshit and not throwing hands with this dude. And yeah, that's it. So yeah, I used to make fun of flat earthers. I thought it was all just a bunch of bullshit until today. Today I found two very convincing videos that grabbed me by the dick and led me towards the light. Evidence so compelling it's opened my third eye. I'm going to share the videos with you, and I trust that you will also now become part of the flat earth cult as a result of watching these videos. This shit's powerful.
Hi, flat earthers. Y'all know me, right? I am here just to tell you something. I want you to stay flat. Because if you don't, then the next generation is gonna suffer. Eh? Remember, flat.
When I saw jolly old Saint Nick preaching the good word of flat earth theory, I knew maybe this wasn't bullshit. Maybe there was something more to this. There's only two people I trust, and it's Santa Claus and Logan Paul. Both of them believe in flat earth. Maybe there's something to this. It's like the old Christmas jingle goes. Santa Claus, he'll fuck your bitch. Miss Saint Nick can suck a dick. Milk and cookies, fuck that shit. Leave him flat earth and a bottle of piss. Not a bad freestyle. What I'm saying is, fucking Santa Claus knows what's up. And if Santa Claus believes in flat earth, maybe I should too. So I started watching videos from the experts in the community, and then I finally found one that puts NASA to shame. Evidence that's indisputable, extremely compelling evidence, and I'm going to share it with you now.
Don't worry though, there is a way to scientifically prove that the Earth is flat, and it's a pretty simple experiment. I'll explain with the Lego Earth. Here we have a small flat Earth.
I think that's about all we need to see here. Checkmate, round earth sheep. Was that a little too much for your little reptile brains to comprehend? When the Lego set comes out, that's when you know shit's getting serious and scientific. I remember when Isaac Newton first proved gravity's existence using his Lego set and the world was blown away. And now this pioneer is doing the same, proving flat earth is true.
Renderforest.com.
It was actually this video right here that convinced me without a shadow of a doubt that the earth is flat. Now, the symbolism here and the little nuance of the video game he's created might go over your head if you're some primitive round earther, but if you've opened your eyes, if you're a euphoric being like myself, who can see that the world is obviously flat, you would understand what the creator is trying to say here. He's like a fucking Mozart here, playing this beautiful symphony of truth with flat earth. You have to be injecting heroin to think the world is round and is spherical. It's the stupidest thing in the world. You have to be out of your mind, literally, to think that the world is round. Now, if you go into the comments section, some blasphemer was saying that the world is absolutely round, but luckily, this brave hero was able to disprove him with some just downright straight fucking facts. Just laying down a butt-fucking of facts into this man's butt-fuck hole. And with a name like Unbelievable Productions, you knew you didn't stand a chance in a debate against him. He will unbelievably butt-fuck you, especially with his production value like this. Now, let's get serious for a moment. Yeah, Flat Earth is a big fucking joke. The content they produce on YouTube is some of my favorite because there's shit like this and it's always super enjoyable to laugh at. But I do think the movement as a whole, which is somehow gaining steam, is super dangerous. Thinking the Earth is flat, that's fine if you want to be some type of fucking troglodyte. I don't care if you believe that. But it's the idea that science is wrong and denying science where I get upset, and that's what's genuinely detrimental to society. Anti-vax and flat earth, they're basically the same thing, but for some reason they hate each other and think the other one is fucking dumb. But they're the same. They're born from the same idea that science is wrong and hurting us. And that's dangerous because these fucking idiots can't recognize that science is the only reason they're even alive today. Because half of these goddamn idiots would have already died fucking choking on a rock they ate because they thought it looked appetizing, or bathing in sewage and getting an infection, perhaps eating a block of plutonium because it smelt nice. These people would be dead without science, and yet for some reason they're the first to turn around and bash it and say it's wrong and a lie. Logan Paul, I don't think believes flat earth. I'm 100% certain he's just there to capitalize on the money there, sell some maverick flat earth merch to them, because these fucking idiots have so much disposable income that they seem to just want to get rid of all of their money, tossing it at lunatics building rockets in their backyard. So Logan Paul's smart to get into that market, and I don't think many of the people in the Flat Earth Society actually believe it. Like I said, I think they're just there to capitalize on all the disposable income they all seem to have. And you know what, that's completely fine by me. If you want to take money from these Tide Pod eating douchebags that are just too fucking dumb, I don't really mind, because they genuinely are promoting a dangerous idea to the impressionable children that science is evil and always lying to you. Don't believe science, just believe us. It's this weird indoctrination shit, a very strange cult. But yeah, anyway, what I wanted to really talk about today was the beautiful content they produce, and I really hope they do keep making these because I watch them pretty often. And I wanted to make this today because the big news about Logan Paul being a flat earther and the flat earth movement is really growing again. I'm seeing a lot of posts on Facebook from dumb friends of mine in the past like, here's the truth, removing anyone that doesn't believe, bless up, 100 emoji, just shit like that. But keep up the great content, flat earthers. It's always nice to laugh at, and good shit. See ya.